Georgia lawmakers wrapping up day one of the session under the Gold Dome in Atlanta, and they focused mainly on administrative business. Here's Atlanta Bureau Chief Archith Seshadri.
Inside the Gold Dome on Monday, activist groups, lobbyists pitching their deliveries to lawmakers as legislation gets introduced in both chambers as day one of the 2026 legislative session is now in the books. Lawmakers will introduce legislation on a slew of topics this year, with education and healthcare forming the bulk of the state budget. Other issues include rural healthcare access and maternal mortality concerns, proposals to eliminate the state income tax, and a continued focus on teacher pay and classroom safety.
I think a lot of the lack of the healthcare is just access to it, and for those who can't afford it. A lot of folks now just not going without insurance because they can't afford the high premiums for things. So a good focus would be maternal health care, maternal mortality. Of course, in the state of Georgia, we're ranked real high on that. So looking at those options and seeing what we can do to help improve that.
This session, we're likely to see bills introduced, including bills from last year, like tort reform, which was Governor Brian Kemp's key priority last session. We also may see bills on school zone speed cameras, rural health care access, teacher pay, as well as public infrastructure and safety in the state of Georgia. Other issues include rural healthcare access and maternal mortality concerns, proposals to eliminate the state income tax, and a continued focus on teacher pay and classroom safety.
We state put in $30,000 a year to support a school safety office not for every school system, but for every school. So that is in every school in the state of Georgia, a school safety officer funded by the state of Georgia. But on top of that, we'll continue to work with that, whether that's mental health aspect, that we'll work on that. We'll continue to do that and address that.
The 2026 legislative session will run for 40 legislative days and will wrap up on Thursday, April the 2nd, by which date lawmakers must approve and ratify a state budget. Reporting outside the Georgia State Capitol, Archith Seshadri, Atlanta Bureau Chief.